Thank you for listening to The Afternoon Pint. We are an independent podcast and we need your support. Please take a moment to hit that like, follow, and share button. Email us if you have an idea or suggestion for the show. Please send your feedback. We'd love to hear from you.
Cheers! Cheers! Oh, big cheers. Welcome to The Afternoon Pint, gentlemen. I'm Mike Tobin.
I am Matt Conrad. Who do we have here?
We got, my name is Taylor Olson. I'm an actor, writer, filmmaker based in Halifax here.
I'm Bob Mann. I'm an actor, writer, comedian based here in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
And I'm Adam DeViller. I'm a writer and director from Halifax.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah.
How did we manage to get all three of you here? This is pretty cool. We Matt and I were talking about this just before the show. When was the last time we had this many people on the show at once?
That's true. You know, and I didn't think we did have, but we did had a podcast. We had a podcast. We had 5 people on there.
Yeah.
And Swing Entertainment.
The Swing guys.
yeah.
The great group of guys. And they just recently won an award for their film in the 48-hour film festival.
Loves
So small world. We love talking to folks that are doing projects, and especially in the arts in Halifax.
Yeah.
Bob, I'm going to lean into you first because I met you a long time ago, over 10 years ago now, I think.
Yes.
Is the math right on that?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I was trying to be a comedian. I joined an AA group, and I failed at my comedy, but I did meet you who was doing outstanding comedy, amongst many others.
Yeah.
And, I mean, are you still doing stand-up today?
Oh, yeah. Still, yeah. So I was just on stage Sunday night down at the Sunday Sesh, and I've headlined Yuck Yucks, and I've traveled and done a bunch of headliner weekends and other things for Yuck Yucks. I got a Just for Laughs things coming up on the 24th of April. Still plugging away at it.
Right.
Still, so to stay in smokes, as they used to say in the old country of Cape Breton, where I'm from. Yeah.
I remember you having a huge family as well.
Yeah.
Right?
We got a bunch of kids, and most of my jokes are about them.
Yeah.
Which is...
How old are your kids now?
My oldest is 25. When was he born? Yeah, I guess he's going to be 27 this year.
Wow.
My youngest just turned 15. So
wow.
and
That's quite the range.
everything in between. Yeah.
You still have all the ages of adolescence.
Yeah, which is great, but there was a time when I kind of safely told jokes about them in ways that they could never know about, and now they're old enough and they know all about the crazy shit that I say about them.
Amazing.
And a couple of them have even been to shows, like very, very recently. So it's a whole life cycle of entertainment in-house, as long as they laugh, basically, is my standard at this point, as long as they like my stuff.
You know what? I love that stuff now. I mean, now being a father myself and everything, I've actually found that I like some of that humor and relate to it obviously a lot more than before, right? I don't think I thought Bert Kreischer was funny until I became a dad. Right.
Yeah.
I just saw Bob set on Sunday.
Yeah.
So sorry, you just saw Bob on Sunday. So how's the new act? What's going on these days?
He's fucking unreal.
Yeah?
Okay, like he won't say it himself, but I gotta say
I would absolutely say it. I'm unreal.
He's a master. I say this. He's a master of his craft. Like,
Thanks, pal.
He's one of my best friends in the world. Love this guy so much, but like objectively, he's fucking unreal. He's so good.
I agree. I think
His
you
head and
have
shoulders.
a great humor about you. It's original, it's unique, it's funny. It brings everybody in the room. I mean, it's very relatable comedy. I mean, you ever get a chance to see Bob Mann? You perform in Halifax all the time.
Yeah, I'm
right?
all over the place.
Yeah, so
I'm really glad I did this podcast.
No.
I almost didn't.
We just want to give you your flowers here, man. So thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that. And
Thanks for having me.
and I'm just going to jump into the food, Matt. So we're back at Quinn's Arm.
Yeah.
I had a deep desire for a long time to try a spice bag. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you know what a spice bag is, guys?
I don't. I'm
right.
looking at it.
Only that the name is unappetizing. That's all I know about it at the moment.
This is like the donairs of Ireland. These are like their kind of street meat style food that's really, really popular.
Yeah.
And I was in Ireland last year, and I wanted to get a spice bag really bad. And I went to this like little booth, just kind of in an alley, and I saw spice bags, $15. I'm like, awesome. I was all excited. I ran up and bought one. It was the worst thing I ever had in my life. But then I realized that I didn't get the right authentic spice bag, and I shouldn't buy food out of an alleyway. But that's
probably a good lesson.
This looks like a very good looking spice bag. Got some breaded chicken and some fries and some.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
And is it spicy? Is the word spice just a sort of colloquialism in this context? Like,
Well, this is actually like a curry chutney kind of style. So try that.
I did.
The chicken's unreal.
The chicken is really good, guys, and the curry chutney is pretty nice too. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Let us know what we're
saying chutney
that
right.
Yeah, chutney's
Okay,
good. Yeah,
cool.
good stuff.
All right, let's move on with the introductions while we eat this delicious. So tell us a little bit about you. I've never met you before. So how'd you get mixed in with these two?
Well, yeah, I met Bob when I was in film school, probably I guess 15-ish years ago. Okay. And even though everybody knew him as a comedian, but for some reason people in my class kept casting him as this pained dramatic actor. So we realized that he could do that as well.
Yeah.
And then met Taylor a few years after that. Actually, I was working on a project with Bob, and we needed somebody to play the other role. And Taylor had reached out to me a few years prior. I had made a short film called Film Drive Renegades, and then shortly after that, he reached out saying hey, I'm an actor, just graduated, love this short, it'd be great to work with you sometime. I knew he had worked with Bob. I asked Bob, what about this Taylor guy? What's he like? He's great. So Taylor and I met, and we just kind of hit it off right away. We made that movie, and then the three of us have been kind of making stuff ever since.
So what's your kind of official role working with these two gentlemen today? Is it writer, producer?
Director and writer.
Director and writer, yeah.
So we would have created that.
So you're really bossy.
I try to be. I try to be as bossy as possible.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you the maniac that wrote this Hey Hello Halifax thing? Or?
That was
Hey Halifax, hello.
But
Hey,
today,
Halifax, hello.
I did write a lot of crazy shit for that. So.
Okay, it's crazy, but it's also really fun. This is my favorite kind of humor. Is this awkward? You don't know where to place it. This is even comedy,
yeah.
And you guys nail it. I mean, the characters are great. The interactions, I saw a few. One with Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys was really good, and the other one with the OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
was absolutely great. And I don't know. I love this kind of. Is there going to be a season 2 of this? Hot take. Do you think you guys got the green light on it yet?
We're working on it. We don't have a green light yet, but things are in the works. In about how many weeks is it going to be? People are going to be able to check out season 1 on an accessible platform.
Yeah, early May, around May 7th-ish.
Are we allowed to say what the platform is? I think I know what it is.
It's TPB Plus, formerly known as SwearNet. So
Perfect,
we'll be
yeah.
there to be available. I mean, they're an international streamer, so...
And you guys are the second show to come on this year that's going... Actually, the third show, if I think about Kristen Green's Car Wash Wars.
Yeah, right.
Right. The other one, Matt, that was just on...
Open Micers.
Open Micers with... Yeah.
On seasons 1, 2, and 3.
That's ours.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing, right? So these guys are putting a lot of Nova Scotia content on their platform, right?
Absolutely.
And this has nothing to do with the Trailer Park Boys, but it's just young writers, young actors, directors with a bunch of new, fresh material.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I mean, obviously we have to shout out Bell TV1, who gave us the shot to make this show, and really leaned into just being total creative control, and just took a huge risk and being do what you guys want, and they just kind of let us do whatever we wanted, and shepherded us through the process without a whole lot of notes or without a whole lot of anything like that.
So they give you a lot of trust.
Paul
A
Gardner.
ton of trust.
Yeah.
Paul Gardner, man.
Paul Gardner.
He really just said I believe in you guys, do what you want, and then kind of championed us through the process, and we're shocked at where it ended up going, but it's places like that and TPB Plus that are giving creators a chance that isn't something that you see every day anymore.
Yeah, we need more of it, right? Absolutely. I mean, I think right now more than ever we need to really start leaning inwards for our content and our entertainment content, right? And I mean, there's a lot more here. The more guys like you experimenting and trying and creating, it's only going to get better. Right?
There's some serious talent here in Halifax, and I think it's not out there enough. And Mike and I have been really focusing this year to try to hammer home the idea that people who work in the arts are entrepreneurs. And, right. And I don't think that's something that people really consider. When they think of the arts, they think there's business and then there's the arts, and they're it's one or the other, but it's not, right?
Yeah.
We see that the film industry and art can, on the top of the fact that you just need art, a good society, a successful, great place to live, invests in the arts, but also there's money that comes along with that, right? It's a business. We've seen what From and Sullivan's Crossing and these types of big shows that are bringing foreign money to Nova Scotia.
Totally.
And paying people here.
Big
right?
time.
Yeah.
So when you guys like make these shows for and this just for hopefully there might be a young person watching this that's trying to make their own creative work and get it out there. Like, how the heck did you get to the point where you applied to Bell? What was your kind of process like? Did somebody kind of lean you towards that, or did you find it on your own? I hope you're enjoying a pint with us. We'll be right back. Your dream home does not have to be just a dream. Today's show is brought to you by Camilla Najat of Exit Realty Metro. Camilla is the realtor who knows how to get things done. Buying or selling? Go to afternoonpint.ca and we will help with a personal introduction. That's afternoonpint.ca/Camilla to make your dreams become a reality.
Well, like, honestly, like, this particular show,
Yeah.
we got entirely because of Taylor's track record making shows for them. And it got to the point that they were like, what if you, like, Paul actually kind of pitched to us, like, what if you did, like, a funny talk show? And we're like, got it, love it. Like, and it was just like, you're going to let us do that, sweet.
Wow.
But that's all because of, like, who Taylor is and the work Taylor's done, getting to where his career is, and several shows with Bell over the years, you know, so he just is a trusted entity that, you know, they're willing to take a shot, take a chance on it.
Great answer and great segue. So let's go to our third guest of the Taylor Olson. It's even easier when he's here, right? Yeah. So, okay, about this foundation that it sounds like you've built through Bell. I mean, I know what you're up to now, and we'll talk more about that. But, like, I guess where did it start for you in creating your own work in Nova Scotia? Because that's a big undertaking in itself, and trusting Canada or Halifax or whatever to be the place where you create these entertainment and movie projects. Because now you've had a few.
Well, man, I think it's like we've all kind of come from the same. Bob and I more so, obviously coming from being actors, and you know, Adam's been making films and films I've admired. Like, I'm like one of the biggest fans of the world of Film Drive Renegade, that short film. And someone's like, what's a great short film in Nova Scotia? I'm like, Film Drive Renegade?
Okay.
Like, I'm like, the list always starts there. I'm just bow down to Adam. He's fucking amazing, super funny, talented guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, seeing people do that locally, like I started acting and got to do a few roles and then got bored pretty quickly because the acting jobs don't come. Even if you're working like at a decent rate for like a Nova Scotian actor, you're still not working that much usually.
Right.
And so I started writing roles for myself and then hand them to directors and then slowly realized I sort of really imagined the full picture of what it would be. So I started directing those things, and you know, you just make short films on the weekend with like Bob and I would, you know, hang out, make a no-budget short film on the weekend. We did Adam's great other short, Bad Morning, and, you know, you slowly do that, and then, you know, I did this play called Bone Cage on stage. And
did you write Bone Cage, or was this?
So this was a play originally by Catherine Banks.
Okay.
Great Canadian playwright. She's you know, from out in Sambro way.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she's like a Governor General Award-winning playwright. And I did the stage play. And then she was kind enough to trust me when I was like, hey, I kind of can say this as a movie, to let me adapt it. So I adapted it for the screen, which was, you know, like a crazy undertaking. And I made that first feature, and then things just kind of, you know, I think like if you make a first feature and it, you know, it doesn't like entirely fail, it just opens up doors to do more stuff. So then from there, it just, you know, got more opportunities to do more features, and then, you know, got in early with the Bell stuff, with King and Pawn, with my buddy Tieran Hawkins. We created that show and did a first season. That just kind of sort of allowed things to sort of, you know, it's one of those funny things where, like, you do something, and as long as it's, like, half decent, then people will start to trust you to do more things, and
Right.
And then you just,
So it's kind
just
of
keep going.
and earn credibility along the way that eventually you'll get to do something as foolish as this Halifax show.
You know, I also just think that's, like, so unique because Paul is so, like, kind of like, he's a big fan of comedy. He loves all sorts of comedy. I think he really loves broad comedy, but he also, like, can, like, notice our weird little senses of humor, and that we kind of like this sort of awkward, sort of almost cringe comedy, and, like, kind of was like, yeah, like, I trust you guys can sort of pull that off. He'd seen, like, you know, when he greenlights the show, he's seen, like, Adam's shorts. He saw Bob and I did these shorts called, like, The Date and Second Wedding, which are, like, absolute most awkward comedy you can kind of do, and he could kind of, like, get the vibe, and so he was just, you know, he like sort of sort of pushed us to like go for it, like even like go further in a way. Like he's like, just
I
really
agree.
go for it.
I think when comedy hits, you got to scream from the rooftops because comedy is almost becoming a harder thing to find in today's medium, right? I mean, I'm a huge comedy fan. So is Matt.
Yep.
We talk about comedy like Siskel and Ebert talk about movies, right? You know, like, oh, this guy was great, or this guy was.
As soon as a new
well, not anymore. They are dead. You know? Or at least one of them.
How do we know that that's not how we talk?
The other guy's doing fine.
Somewhere, wherever he is. I don't know. Yeah.
But we, like if a new special comes out, like the first thing I'm like, hey man, did you watch this yet? And we're always kind of picking it apart and analyzing it. So
So we love analyzing comedy. I think you guys, what was really cool was you played off each other really well.
Yeah.
It felt very genuine, and it didn't feel like it was emulating. It felt like its own thing, and that's really the best compliment I can give.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's cool. I mean,
Very different from our internet haters. I'm quick to point out.
Oh, I'm sure. We get internet haters too. I've got called out for dropping a few too many F-bombs, and just recently, I think. And you know,
she's like,
But it is. It's a tough time to be doing this kind of stuff in a way because of that. The benefit is you can get in front of a lot of eyeballs. People get excited. They're very interested. But because there's been so much content and material out there, someone is going to be more quick than maybe they would have been yesteryear to watch what you're doing and going, oh, I see the reference. I see what you're doing, and therefore it's
different too. Right?
Yeah,
and that's something you really like. I really, you know, I think all of us. I'm not sure about you, but I know you are both raising a kid right now, a teenager, and when I see what they find hilarious, I'm like, whew, I'm not sure if I find that as funny as you do, but I'm happy you're happy, right?
Well, if I can say one of the neatest things about this process for me was that as we were putting things together and rolling out the sort of the rough cuts and things like that, I was showing them to my kids.
And what were your kids saying?
And they were loving it. Yeah. They were laughing. They were really interested. They cover a broad range. I have a nice sample size in terms of ages. They were kind of. We thank them in the credits because and everyone from like my 13, 14-year-old at the time to my young men sons and stuff were like, oh wow, we love this. And it's a small sample size. They are biased. They do love my stuff, but I felt like I had a sense of how genuinely they liked it, like listening to them laughing, and they still quote it. They quote the show, and they talk about the show. They say, it's the new Coxwell Street Exchange. My girls say that to each other randomly all the time. And so it's a very validating thing that we wouldn't have been able to do that 10 years ago. We wouldn't have had that in our pocket as a thing to rely on.
My daughter would have been 11 because she just turned 12 this year, and so I'd show her like clips that were appropriate. And she would same thing, like beg to see more, and I'd have to scroll through. Okay, I can actually show you this part. Or and cool. She watched everything she could for all the episodes, and sometimes now she'd be like, hey, can I watch the show again? She'll want to watch it again. I'm like, what?
Taylor's such a good dad. I've always shown my kids everything there is to see anywhere all the time. You guys want to watch this on Tomahawk? Sit down, 6-year-old. Let's go. Every
single person around this table probably watched South Park way too young. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? That's kind of what made us, yeah. I do want to say something about Taylor, though, that I think kind of got glissed over a little bit when you were talking about what can young people do or what can people do and then when I make stuff. The thing about Taylor, and I'd never admit this though, and I think this is what drew me to him and it's gotten Adam involved, is this real enterprising, hustling, hardworking, building relationships, pulling people in. When Taylor has a project he wants to do, he's built relationships so that he can bring in capital, you can bring in gear, bring in people, bring in and have multiple people lined up to do something. And honestly, having spent so much time with Taylor over the years, it's the number one thing I would say to someone who's got an idea, something they want to make, whether they want to write or they want to act. Find other people, build relationships, make a little community, help them with their things. They'll help you with it, make it. I mean, our actors union has a really cool thing where it says we're not allowed to act in anything other than ACTRA projects. But if a bunch of actors want to get together, and that's not cool.
No.
But our actors union has a little program, and pretty much all the branches do, that say if a bunch of you want to get together and make something, you can do that, and you own it, and the union has a little share. One of the first big projects we ever worked on was a feature film that was done under that system. Taylor was one of the first people in the country to do that with a feature film. It was created for shorts, and Taylor said, I think we can make a feature movie using this system, and we did. And it really, that said so much to me about being imaginative and figuring out, instead of just seeing the roadblocks and
is that
the
a
things
common
standing in front
thing
of you.
now with folks in unions that are actually doing this kind of in-house creation, where they're kind of turning into themselves to create their own content?
I think so. I think it's like really common in the East Coast, especially. You have to like wear so many hats just to survive. Like I think, like, you know, if you want to do this for a living and try to stay out here, you know. But I also like, I think this program, the member-initiated program at ACTRA, like a lot of people have been using for shorts for years, and it might be, you know, what's kind of sad is that I think it's used less now than it was when we were like in our short film heyday, and I think that's just because like the cost of living and like the way that the economy is for people right now, like a lot of artists just can't afford the time to be like, oh, I'm going to do something on the weekend for free, which is tough because for emerging creators, it's like, that's how we did stuff. Like we did these things ourselves for like, we did a bunch of shorts, and then eventually someone says, yeah, we'll give you like, you know, some pocket change. It's still pocket change to a degree at first to go make something, and maybe you'll be able to like pay yourselves, you know, like $1.50 an hour for all the work you put in. That's great, you know, it's exciting. So I think that's one of the things that's sad right now, is that you just see a lot of young people who have the hunger and want to do it, but they're just struggling to get it off the ground, just because it's like, how can they afford to like do things for free right now? I don't know.
But
that's a good point.
You said something really important about creating community, and I think that's something even I could probably have been better at when I was younger and creative. I'd take projects and I keep them to myself, and I wouldn't share anybody. And what's the point?
Oh, it was very
it's a team sport. That's pretty smart about this, right?
Pretty stupid of me previously to not go and share creative works and do things and collaborate and ask for feedback and keep looking to see if somebody's interested in whatever project we wanted to do. We started this podcast pretty late in life, right, man? I mean,
we started
in a sense, but we stuck with it. We didn't stop doing it, and now it has a pretty good following. So thank you for still listening.
That's cool.
It takes time.
It takes time to build up, and that's the thing. We were talking about this today. Like, I really feel like we've built some credibility. I think, you know, we've had a lot of cool guests. And
we're so lucky, man.
Yeah, we've been really lucky to kind of build up, you know, some really good people to come on the show, some people we probably wouldn't normally get the chance to talk to, and I feel we're you know, we've become respected as a podcast in the city. So
Totally.
yeah, it's cool.
Well, what you're saying too, like that's an important part of it all, is like the goodwill from people. Like, you know, like if I look back and like trying to make stuff, like just how much goodwill I got from people, and like there is a community out here of people who want to help each other and support each other and sort of cheerlead each other. We're all fighting for small pockets of money, which is brutal. But I still feel like people actually genuinely want to see each other succeed. And like people from the older generations, like, you know, John Dunsworth was like a huge cheerleader for me at the beginning.
He was amazing.
Before he passed.
Yeah,
and
he
like,
was amazing. Yeah.
He's one of those guys that you're like, yeah, that's like the kind of the spirit of the, he's like the spirit, he was the spirit of the Maritimes, and that sort of like giving back to the younger generations. Like,
I did an acting class with John, and he put his number in my phone. Like, just, he's like, if you have any help, and he was just so kind, right? And it was so kind, I wasn't used to it. I was like,
very generous.
But super generous and wanted to help people. Amazing guy.
And we still have that. I would say Jonathan Torrance has, to a certain extent, stepped into those shoes and is a great
100%.
mentor and is game to do things with people and very friendly and generous with his time.
When he came on our show, we were like,
he shared his time with us and trusted us enough to come on. He was phenomenal. Told some great stories, even though he didn't think he had any more stories to tell.
He's always got something in
the chamber. He had a few when they were quite entertaining, right?
That's it. He was kind enough to come on Hey Halifax, and so was Rob Wells. I mean, like, these are guys who
they don't have
time, and they also don't need to do that. They're just doing it to help us out. Like, literally, they're just like, is this helpful to you? And then you're just trying to make it fun for them.
That's right. Well, you guys did a good job in both of those ones. I saw both of those clips. Now, were you guys inspired at all by Eric Andre? Did you ever watch? Because that to me was one of the master strokes in awkward comedy over the last decade?
It's like Eric Andre, Between Two Ferns.
Yeah, just
Tom
like Jack
Green,
Fielder.
like
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder, like Tim and Eric a little bit. Like it's really, we're not pretending that we're reinventing the wheel with this at all.
No,
it's
no.
very much like
It's an homage
our
in a
take
sense,
on,
in your take.
Yeah, 100%.
A little more Canadian.
Yeah. It's I mean, we're just trying to take the stuff that we find funny and put our own spin on it.
Nathan Fielder is someone whose name I don't hear enough because I think the work that he does is absolutely brilliant.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
comedy
I've always
wise.
loved him.
And his ties to Halifax are pretty interesting in 22 minutes as well, right? Back in the day, I don't know how long ago that was, but he had some of the funniest clips of his time on 22 minutes when he was on. He was unbelievable. Yeah.
One of the things for our show that's like important to like sort of point out is that like Adam edited it, and that was like such a key thing for our show because the timing of the edits and the reactions, everything is so particular, and like Adam did such a fantastic job of creating this pacing and this feel and stuff, and recreating that, and like just was so dialed in, and even in our rehearsals, like you could see that Adam had a really strong vision for like how that would be in the edit while we were like rehearsing before we were even rolling, and so I think that's a big part of that type of comedy.
Yeah,
is like that
lots of quick reaction cuts I noticed and stuff like that you do, and you move it. I could pick up on the editing, and I thought it was brilliant. And that's a hard thing to do also in comedy because it's like, when does that beat end and when's that pause end, and like is it it's on stage you can kind of sense it, dude. Like
editing is so hard, and I don't think anyone who has never tried to do it. Edit anything doesn't understand how hard it really is.
I'm in the middle of an edit right now that's not going well. So it's
like, I'll tell you.
Well, it's just like I was like high on my horse of like comedy and narrative stuff, and I was like, I'll try this other thing. I'm like, oh, maybe I should stay in my lane.
Well, like the emotions you kind of go through, where you're just kind of like, it's like, okay, I need this to be under 30 minutes, and it's like, but I can't get it under 30 minutes this is not funny or this is not good if you don't see this, and if I cut this and it's
oh my God,
it feels impossible sometimes.
Yeah,
they say like one of the best things I've heard about editing is you got to get used to killing your babies, because sometimes you might think it's got to serve the cut, like even if it's something that you really like, and maybe it is the funniest joke, if it doesn't move that cut along, like it probably has to go.
That hurts in writing too, man. That's true. I like it when I write the funniest thing, and I'm like, it's completely off tone. It has nothing to do with this. It's gonna bankrupt the rest of what you're trying to say, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying a pint with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Chip here from Don't Overthink It, Chip. Big shout out to the Afternoon Pint Media team for managing my content creator career. If your business needs support, big or small, hit up Afternoon Pint and learn more about our reputation for boosting foot traffic with curated storytelling for your business.
It sucks.
You got to get rid of it. When you do that but you don't notice it in the writing and no one clocks it, and then you shoot the most expensive part of your movie multiple times, and then you cut all of that because none of it works in the movie, and then the producers are like, why did we shoot that? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know that cost probably $100,000 altogether.
Sounds like this might
happen. Feel bad. Yeah, that's happening.
Which is another great segue. So let's talk about your latest project, though. That's touring America.
Well, that's when we first met you.
I mean,
when they were giving.
Oh yeah, we met you at AFC Film Co-op. Yeah.
They were giving the red carpet.
Okay,
for the Mann Film Festival.
Okay, sure, thanks.
we like when they were giving you all these compliments and saying how much a nice guy you were. I felt that right away because we met you at the red carpet on the Atlantic Film Festival. We were the weird guys trying to be erratic. Yeah, everyone's asking like kind of serious questions, and we're just like, "What's your favorite karaoke song to sing?" Right? So we were just trying to throw curveballs at people on there, but I don't know. I think it kind of worked.
I thought it worked great.
It was great. Yeah, I hope everybody else
did. It's fun. But yeah, you were super welcoming. We were obviously the new guys on the block. Like we were kind of at it last minute, and we were grateful to be there. But yeah, you were very welcoming. Chatted with us a long time, so we apprate that. So,
oh man, no, you guys are great. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool. So yeah, so that we got to. You were on there obviously because there was you had a movie that you guys created, and now it's like blown up, right? It's awesome. Tell us everything about it.
Oh man, well,
it's been a whirlwind, yeah.
Yeah, so it's called What We Dreamed of Then, and yeah, we shot it in New Brunswick, which was a whole sort of thing on its own with sort of like a New Brunswick, Nova Scotia co-production. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like it's a kind of film where we had close calls multiple times for bigger festivals, like including like, we were one of the last rounds cut from like Berlin. So like it's tough to compare where we could have been versus where we are, but I'm really grateful for it. Like we had a great distributor, Vortex, who did like a really great theatrical release for us, limited release across the country, and we got to sort of travel and do these sort of impact screenings where we talk with experts on houselessness and that, which was really important for this. And then now we're in the States, and we got a little bit of success in the States. We just won Cinequest Film Festival, which was nice. And so now it's just kind of kicking off the States. Like it's just kind of started in the States, and hopefully that'll continue for the next 6 months or so. And we're going to try to find U.S. distribution.
It must be cool seeing your movie open on these like cool town theaters across the U.S. because I saw a couple images where like it would just be opened up and like you'd see your name on the bill like on top of this kind of classic theater.
The Alamo Draft House.
Is that the one I saw?
Yeah, it must have been the Alamo Draft House, which is kind of a semi-well-known
it's
like
a big
venue.
It's a big deal.
So that was cool being like, oh, it's playing there. Like I wish I was there for it. Like at Cinequest, we also had Hey Halifax playing actually. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, you have to be grateful when you get an audience, and this one's been nice because for the theatrical screenings in Canada, like people really showed up to see it. I was kind of shocked. Like we had a bunch of sold out screenings, and I've not experienced that before. And it was nice that it actually connected with the general audience, and that like it seemed like people, whatever they were drawn to it, I think if they care about the issue, that was the whole point of making the movie. Is
rightfully
that, like, creating empathy for houseless people. It was nice to have people show up for that.
Well, it's a huge issue, though, right? And I mean, we
just talked about it with Donna. Like, we had the CEO of the Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have, even in Canada, really enough candid conversations about affordability.
No.
Right? And, you guys talked earlier about being an artist and trying to survive. And, I mean, I'm not this is not anti-government. I'm not picking political sides here. But, when we see cuts to the arts, I say, geez, that's the pulse, guys. That's the part where so many young people, it's kind of like cutting sports. Yeah. I mean, if we said we were cutting the moose heads, I mean, how would you feel? I mean, if you were a hockey fan, you enjoyed getting out and being a part of that, or if they cut the rec hockey. Arts is just I'm sweating because I was picking chili peppers off this spice bag. Now I'm dying.
And for the listeners at home, it's getting moist.
Speaking moistly, I'm salivating more on the mic.
But it's funny, the talking about the cuts to the arts and things. I remember a number of years ago, and I think what you're saying is that these cuts, they affect people in a real meaningful way. I remember a number of years ago, it was after Trudeau got elected, one of the first things he did was he said, okay, we're going to change the tax rules so that you can't have your spouse on as an employee of your mid-sized company, even though she doesn't do any work, and split your income with her, because you folks don't need that tax break. And those people went bananas.
Right, sure.
They went crazy. Talk about, lobbying and yelling and screaming. And I'm talking about accountant firms and small folks that don't, that are not affected in a meaningful way, right? The idea that these cuts are just going to happen and that they don't have any anyone should be able to relate to being affected in that way, but it's amazing how tone deaf some of the reactions are.
You're saying these cuts to the arts community are pretty devastating.
They're devastating.
Okay, we're on the same page.
For a number of people, right? But anyone who's sitting around and saying, "Oh, come on, we don't need that stuff." Yeah, how about we take $1,000 away from you a year? Yeah. Suddenly those people sit up pretty fast.
It was interesting. I saw a video this week sometime, and it was about a guy who was talking about that he made $2 million a year.
Yeah.
And he was yelling at people saying, like, do you think I should be paying 70% taxes once I start once I go over $2 million a year or something like that? And the person was like, yes. And he was like yelling, saying that was ridiculous, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the problem, is like, anyone making $2 million a year, if you can't afford to pay 70% tax and still be all right, like the difference, and this is what the video talked about, is that there are people we have in this society, in this country, in other countries, where it's like, we need to help them because they're trying to figure out how to pay basics.
Yeah.
And this guy's upset because his cushion, which is larger than someone else's, is getting slightly more deflated.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if everyone had, like, you know, if everyone lives the same type of life, you have a car, you have a house, whatever. All you're doing when you're building more wealth beyond paying what you would normally pay is building your cushion, right? Building your safety net.
Yeah.
And this guy is worried about losing a little bit more of a safety net when it's already so big versus people who aren't, right? And so it's kind of funny, like, when you see governments make decisions that are hitting people that don't have that cushion, and they're trying to contribute to the economy just in a different way, that, like, you know, the arts make life worth living, right? In a way, in a lot of ways, like, I'm a big proponent that we need to invest in the arts, because that's how you keep doctors, right? That's how you keep people here. If they don't have shit to do when they're not working, they go to places where they can do shit.
If you have cool shit in your backyard, you're going to stay there, right? Like, you know, lots of things to explore, places to go. You're doing comedy here in Halifax. The comedy scene in Halifax is still great. I mean, we have...
But it's not paying a ton of money.
No,
right? People are still, they're working and hustling, trying to figure out.
And if you think of, like, what has happened in California, I mean, you know, this might be a bit of a reach for a comparison, but, you know, they had a magnificent comedy community, and it dissolved very, very largely. Now, there's still comedy being done in California, but not to the extent that it was. But they left because, you know, there was no longer an affordable option for them to stay there, right? And
the Largo days are not as robust as they were, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, in Nova Scotia, I think it highly benefits for us to find ways to pay for the arts, to find ways to say, there's a tremendous amount of value in live entertainment. And as we approach our AI singularity, where we all become half robots, right? You know, but, like, jokingly, but also,
but actually,
a lot of the admin work is going away, kids. Like, you know, like, because this stuff can be done more efficiently with a computer than you, right? Because you're an idiot, right? And the computers are really great. And they don't mess these things up. So this is a great time to lean into humanity and get ahead of the curve instead of behind it. And I think we are missing a major opportunity right now by not putting as many of our chips as we can afford to put into the arts community, making it a hub here in Halifax. This is a place where people come for the arts, not have to leave because they got an arts degree, right? So, I mean, you guys are doing commendable work. And I really, that's why I asked early on, like, you know, how are you guys doing this, right? Because it's so, must be frustrating in some senses of how difficult it can be. But, I mean, you guys have a lot of talent, and, I mean, it shows because you're producing content. So hopefully we see more of that and more young people with that option that they can produce that stuff.
Young people will leave. Like, we lived through the film tax credit table flip in 2015, and you know, I mean, there were some changes there that in the long run weren't terrible, but at the moment, I mean, people are living so close to the edge doing that kind of work. We know each of us could easily name 10 people, if not more, who left and didn't come back. Who are talented, gifted, hardworking folks who just were like, I can't wait a year for this to bounce back. I gotta go now. That's right.
Well, I also think of the people who, like, right now with these cuts, it's like, okay, well, you know, there's an argument to be made from people from the outside who are like, it's a handout, and if you chose to be an artist in any form already, you should have known it was hard, so it just got a little bit harder. And it's like, well, actually, my argument is even less for us. It's for the person who, like, was like, I want to be part of the arts community, and they went and they got an administrative job. I'm making this up, but, like, they got an administrative job at the Atlantic International Film Festival. That budget just got cut by 20%. That job that was supposed to be stable, that they chose to be in administration instead of doing what we're doing, it's cut. That's supposed to be the job that's stable, because it's not the thing that we're doing or freelancing or whatever. That's supposed to be, like, the thing that I go to do when I'm like, okay, I got kids and I got to be responsible because things are hard right now, and I take that job and then that job gets cut. It's like, it's kind of a big fuck you.
Good. Yeah. Well, we all agree on that. Cheers.
No debate there. Animal Farm.
I took your cup again. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I need a coffee to be honest.
I do want to scale back a little bit too, like, before we went off on that whole tangent, but because it was something we wanted to cover. But breaking into the United States, it is something that I want to talk about, because, like, people may not be aware, like, because we just have Cineplex. At one point in time, we had like competitors when it comes to theaters, but we just don't anymore. It's just Cineplex, right? But in the United States, like there's single off theaters, things like that. Like, how do you navigate, like, you know, do you door knock on like small theaters to say like, please show my movie? Like, how does that work navigating the States?
You know, I don't really know because we haven't really, like, on my features, haven't really broken in through that door yet. Like, you know, we've ended up on, you know, like my first 2 features were online in the States on like, you know, Prime and all those guys, Apple, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. But we didn't do theatrical runs in the States because we needed a distributor, and
You're knocking on distributors' doors.
Yeah, so we're knocking on distributors' doors, and that's what we're doing right now with this latest feature because it's just. You know, the first 2 were true micro budget movies, and this one has a little bit more money, not a lot, but now we can sort of talk to those distributors and try to get someone to, like, you know, do a small limited release in the States, and, you know, that's looking like it's possible with this, but that's kind of what it is. It's like, for these kind of features, it's like, okay, we play at this film festival, so we played at CineQuest, we win at CineQuest, now we can talk to distributors. Before that, it's like, it's not even a non-starter. It's like a Canadian movie with no stars.
Yeah. Right.
So we had to like go there and win something, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, we'll talk to you." And that's really what it is. And I think you just need to sort of hit in the right way. Like my second feature premiered at Slamdance, a very small movie. Our Canadian distributor does North American distribution, and he was like, "Do you want us to just distribute it across North America?" And I was like, please, I don't want to have to try to get a distributor in the States because I need to go make my next thing to pay my bills.
Of course, yeah.
So that's the tricky thing with, I think, the thing in the States is like just hitting at the right festival in the States. Like if you hit at South by or something, well, if you're at South by Southwest, you're probably more likely to get distribution. But even years ago, this guy named Jim Cummings, who's kind of my independent film hero, he made a film called Thunder Road, based on a great short film that won Sundance. That film went to South by Southwest, won the Grand Jury Prize, and the offers he got from distributors were so bad that he self-released it in the States, and they did make a bunch of money. But it was like, the last one was like, basically some of the distributors were like, go in at Cannes and we'll talk. And he's like, okay, we just won South by, you know? So
that's how far you got to go.
So I think it is even more complicated now, but I have this feeling based on like people who are much smarter than me and actually understand the market that independent film is going to have like its own moment in terms of that sort of distribution in the near future because of everything you were saying before with AI and also just like movies being made for streamers that restate the plot 5 times because they're told to. You know, like people do want things that are scrappy and made independently now.
Sometimes those scrappy projects. I mean, you know, I think the films that inspired probably all of us. I'm making a wedging a bet here. I saw Clerks by Kevin Smith in 1995, and I blew my freaking mind.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and then I mean, you know, right up till Dogma. Right, I thought I lived in Kevin Smith's universe for so many years. I just thought he was the smartest guy. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
and like so. You know, when you and those were scrappy films, right? Especially in the beginning. Yeah. And I mean, these are the movies that change the pulse, that set the next trend, that make the comedy fresh again. Because comedy, what really happens in movies, if you watch it, it goes from great to recycled 3,000 times. You're like, I can't laugh at this anymore, guys. I saw the same joke happen in every movie I saw in the last 20 years. Like, this is not funny anymore. Right. And like, you know, it kills itself, right? And so you need new, unique characters, perspectives, and you don't get that without reaching deeply into the human personas and personalities and finding the next great weirdo of society that's actually pretty funny, and you want to watch that, right? You want to experience what that person's life is like. And I just, I don't know, I commend what you guys are doing highly. That's why we wanted you guys on the show. So thank you so much for this, and don't leave Canada.
We're going to try.
But the other thing,
there's a bunch of awards right now.
Yeah, I know. But just on the market thing, man, you talked about USA, and I just want to talk about one other thing. Like the rest of, you know, we talk about Mark Carney's world where he's no longer looking at the U.S. and he's looking at the rest of the world for, you know, trade. Is this what we should be looking at for movies, like cinema? Like, I think of Ben Kaplan right now, who's over in Belgium or wherever the hell he is. Germany?
He actually has more German fans than he has Canadian fans.
Right, yeah.
Brilliant guy from Halifax, great singer.
Wow.
That his album came out last year. It's amazing. Like, it's a really good, and I'm not paying him fan because he's from here. I would like that record no matter wherever on earth that dude turned up from. I'm like, this is a cool record, right? So now he's over there. and he's not trying to chase the American dream, but he seems to be doing okay. Would you guys be able to pursue that option, you think, with film?
This is a good question. I did see some dark comedy, Dutch dark comedy the other day that made me laugh in a way that I thought it was one of the most clever gags I've seen in a while, and it was something that was so dark, that's kind of my sensibilities, really dark comedy.
You're a good comedy. Yeah.
Maybe it made me think that maybe it was possible, because I never would have thought, up until seeing that, honestly, not to whatever anybody thinks about the U.S., I think we all kind of want movies to be successful in the U.S.
It's the largest market. One of the largest markets, and it's close. It's next door.
And it's similar tastes to what we have here in a lot of ways too. But it's like seeing this Dutch comedy. It was the first time that I was like, maybe, because it was something that was ridiculously funny in a way that I hadn't seen from overseas.
I can tell you, Germans have a pretty messed up sense of humor. They kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
In case you haven't heard, they have a pretty messed up history.
Yeah.
A few things I don't agree with.
Exactly. But they've drastically changed, and they have a pretty good sense of humor. So dark comedy is live and well over there. So.
It is one of the things about sort of modernity when it comes to there's a place for everything now. Right? Like you don't have to cut through to whatever the room is where all the things happen. There are a whole bunch of rooms now. So if you have something you're making that's interesting, you might be able to find an audience, but it might not be in your own backyard. It might be somewhere else. Right. But
I guess
isn't it great that we can do that?
We have to do a better job of sharing the Canadian identity with the world.
Right.
I really think we do. Because, I watch shows like you just said. I watch shows from Australia with brilliant comedy. Some of my favorite shows of all time came from the UK and were translated for an American audience, such as The Office that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Not
comedy, but Wentworth is one of my it's one of my favorite shows ever. It's not comedy, but still
so well done. Yeah. It's such a smart show. And then the American version would be probably Orange is the New Black. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
They're as close to the fact that it's a women's prison, but very different from there, because the Orange is the New Black is actually based on someone's experience who actually went to jail for that.
Okay.
She wrote a book and then they turned it into a show.
It's based on a book. Yeah.
And then they turned it more into it was more of a kind of a comedy or dramedy or whatever.
Right on.
Right.
Whereas Wentworth is just straight up drama, ruthless, and anything can happen, right? I think they actually did it way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, way. Yeah. If you're saying the category is women's prison show, Wentworth wins. But I think it's kind of, they're just so different kind of thing. It's like saying this is beer, but this is a stout and this is a pilsner.
Yeah. Well,
right?
we're ripping off a UK tradition right now with our afternoon pint show.
Yeah.
It's entirely ripped off of. We walking around London. Why is everybody at the pub at 4:00? Oh, this is what they do after work. They go have a pint together.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But it's such a good example though, because I don't think that, and Taylor and I have had a lot of conversations about this sort of thing. I don't know that anyone who's sitting down at a pub at the end of the day in the UK sharing some drinks is turning and looking to themselves and saying, isn't it great how we're fostering United Kingdom culture? Isn't this wonderful? Right. No one's thinking that.
100%.
When the kids in the hall they weren't 100% original. They were borrowing from Monty Python.
Yes.
We're talking about titans of Canadian comedy. They weren't sitting around saying, isn't this great that we're getting Canadian culture and comedy out there? No, that's not what they were doing. So one of the things that we always try to come back to, especially when we're maybe struggling a little bit with what are we making here? And we've written screenplays and shows. Adam and I, wrote a screenplay 10 years ago that won the Film Festival Script Development Program. So we all go way back. The question is, are we making something that delights and thrills and brings us joy? Does it make us laugh? Are we enjoying doing this? And
just back to the human spirit.
Will there be an audience for it? Will someone in the United States like this? Will someone in Germany like this? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I just know that we're getting a big kick out of making this. Right? And then you go from there, right? You go from there.
We were talking about that today. Just being authentic. And you know what? If you would do it for free, do it. And if money comes, great.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But obviously you have bills to pay, so you got to do it. You got to make money somehow too. But Yeah, if you feel compelled to create,
leading into that passion.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, interestingly, success will kill you every time. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if anyone's ever had the experience of watching a show that they once loved in its 4th season or 5th season and going, what happened? And it's because the thing becomes fan fiction.
Yeah, they're writing
right? People writing it are they're trying to that's right.
Yeah. They pulled it back. They brought it back though. Yeah. On the 6. Who brought it back?
Which show? Who did? Community. Stranger Things.
They fell off the cliff and then they
it was like it had some good things like that. See, first 3 seasons were pure gold.
Amazing.
4 got really weird. I think it was it 4? Was it 4 or 5? Like at one
4,
point
they got rid of the showrunner.
Yeah, and it was so they literally the next season they basically said like that was the gas leak year, and they basically said that didn't happen. It was all a dream.
I'm rewatching it now. Actually, it's like one of my favorites. Like that is
it's so good.
It's great writing.
It's like also one of the like fighting to stay on the air every single year.
Yes,
and if you look at all the shows that like are kind of like straight up classics, and nobody really denies whether or not they are, that had to fight to stay on the air every year. I mean, there's Community,
Arrested Development,
The Wire,
Always Sunny is still
year.
on. Like, I mean,
Sunny's
that's maybe the funniest show I think of all time. And it's in a respect like it is. Man, how do they write that show?
I don't know how they're able to kind of like
keep those characters going.
I don't know.
And be like an edgy show that deals with whatever the tropes of like everyday life. I mean, if you look at what they did in the first season, you could never do any of that.
Oh,
now.
gosh, I know.
But they're able to kind of like walk that line.
It's a hard show to share with somebody that they should start watching because it like just says such horrible things about you. Like, you can really go watch that show. It's a great show because then they're like, what's wrong with you? After they watched that first season, it's terrible. Right?
Even a show like 30 Rock, I'm not sure that. I mean, we're talking about NBC Thursday night, right? Like these are all A-listers, but I always felt watching it like, oh, this seems like a show being made as if their life depends on it. Right, and
there was a lot of brilliance in that show.
As if any moment someone's going to come along and go, this is too edgy and weird and odd and strange.
No, but
we're not going to let you exist.
The arc of that show, because I've watched all of it as well, is like they eventually kind of have intellectual antidotes about how human life should be as aliens.
Oh, there's tons of cool
and it just kind of keeps tying into this like humanity play, and it's a brilliant show.
No, it's incredible,
brilliant show, and great characters, right? And characters that can just live forever. I miss Elf too, man.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do with Hey Halifax. Hello today. Yeah, that's what we were trying to do.
He's back.
Comment on the human condition, a la Elf. That's sort of the that's right.
Exactly
You guys nailed it.
My kids listening to this right now are like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What the fuck is Elf? Are they talking about the movie Elf with like Will Ferrell?
You know what? I actually still have like my stuffed like Elf.
Oh yeah, I had one of those.
I have him still. And my son actually has him in his bedroom.
Oh shit, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So like, I still have a few of them. Like I kept some. Like I have Elf, and I still have my Ultimate Warrior and Ted DiBiase wrestling buddies.
Damn.
Like 1990 kind of. Kept them. My son still like wrestles with them. He's 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awesome. It's like repeat all over again.
Welcome back to the Millennial Fringe Show.
Yeah, exactly. Can I talk about my Montreal Expos Yuppie that I had for fucking years? I had that a good 10 years after the team folded. Like,
never forget.
Well, listen, when it was like, it was probably like 15 years or something like that when Washington finally won the World Series, and I had a Expos glass. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan, but still, I was kind of like nostalgic. I watched that World Series every night, drinking out of my Montreal Expos glass because I'm like, this is what they should have won in '94.
Right.
Yeah,
should have been theirs, right?
Yeah. Oh, Dad, do we have to watch this again? Like, yes, sit down, son. Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys are up for some awards. Like, you guys have the Canadian Screen Award nominations kind of going on. So like,
that's
awesome.
huge.
Yeah,
Thank you. We're very excited to lose to 22 minutes.
That's right. Yeah,
very excited.
But thrilled to be in their company.
Yeah, exactly.
It is like I mean,
It's a true nod,
it's what
man.
we want. Yeah, it's what we wanted out of the show for sure. So
Totally.
that we got it.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Listen, if you're
It's the
in the
first
mix,
effort too, man. It was the first throw at the wall, and you guys got there. Like that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice to get that recognition.
Yeah.
It's validating.
Yeah, we get to go to the fancy thing, and we'll all sit together in our little suits and be cute, and it's gonna be great.
Where's the event at? Is it in Ontario?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah.
See, I would actually I actually think, and we've talked about this before, I think the fact that you guys are in the mix with 22 minutes, and I think 22 minutes is actually in its GOAT status right now.
I think so too, man.
The
last 2 years?
Season.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
Nova
Great
Scotia,
job.
and
100%.
Chris Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those
They're
guys
so
are
good.
fantastic.
He's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
And he does such a great job. Like he's like every time he puts on a new character, I'm just equally impressed. I'm like,
gotcha.
I did not see the Ukrainian prime minister coming out of that guy. And then he delivered, dude. Like
yeah, they take some
120%.
swings. Yeah, character-wise. they
He's
take
doing
some swings.
Trudeau, he's doing Pierre Polyev, like he's got them all.
Yeah.
And I mean, and bringing Mark in to do Mark Carney.
Oh yeah.
That was a good play.
It's so
Great.
good.
He was
Yeah,
great.
I got to do a sketch with McKinney.
right.
as-
Yeah,
as
I
Car-
saw
as
you
Car-
on
and it
one
was-
of the skits
Yeah,
not
it was,
too
it was
long
kind of a for me it was. I remember saying to some of my pals before we went out onto in the studio, I was like, okay, I've been doing this long enough that I don't really get starstruck by people, but I'm just warning you guys. I'm if I have a moment, take me by the arm because this guy's one of my comedy heroes. Like that
Did you
I
watch
grew up
Superstar?
on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean.
so
Oh, he's
good.
so good.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
show.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He's so funny. And like it literally goes like Mark is my favorite character in the show. And then my wife hates this. My second favorite character is I can't even remember his name, but it's the guy who goes the
Yeah.
literally my second favorite guy. She's like, it's not funny when he does that. I'm like, yes it is every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we actually owe this show kind of existing, obviously in part to Paul Gardner at Bell, but to 22 minutes because I was directing sketches for them for a couple seasons and I loved doing it so much that it made me really want to do more sketch. And then when Paul talked to us about like the talk show thing, and it was like, but can it be a sketch comedy? Like part of that came from just like how much fun it is at 22 and what a great culture they have there. So I mean, we kind of owe this existing in part to them being around and being here and
Yeah. I mean, guys like Mark Critch, it's like he is the best Trump in I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean, there's a lot of Trump impersonations.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Jamie Foxx is surprisingly number 2.
Yeah.
But I think Mark Critch knocks it out the park, dude. Like he just has such a great delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have that right in our backyard and having it happening down the street. I mean, we've got lots of friends who I've been on a few times, but we know a number of people who week in and week out are in there getting to be in sketches, getting to a few lines every now and again. I mean, we're so fortunate to have such a big Canadian show.
Hope it keeps
happening
going.
here. Yeah. Oh, forever. Please.
Cheers to
please.
22 minutes. And cheers
Yeah.
if you guys beat them just once, right? And then after that, they can get all the awards. But it would be kind of cool to see if Hey Halifax. Could you imagine if that just won? Because I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's right.
It'd be the craziest speech ever because we were just like, thank you so much. And then we leave because we wouldn't be prepared at all.
If we win, I'm going up on stage in character. I'm going to stand there with the trophy and just stare. I'm going to pick one person in the crowd and just stare at them. I won't know what to say.
Just go up there and just be like, make some sort of shot at them and just be like, this hour has 22 suck my nuts.
Yeah.
More like, please hire us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, we're all a happy family.
Before we move on to our ominous 10 questions, is there anything that you guys, we haven't talked about that you guys want to make sure that our listeners hear that you want to talk about?
I don't
No, I guess just subscribe to TPB Plus if you haven't already. Get ready to watch Hey Halifax. A lot of people.
I'm starting to feel like we're working for TPB Plus. Yeah, seriously. But if you guys are listening,
Do you want a podcast?
send us a few bucks, guys. If you're doing okay, we'll keep promoting the shows because all these guys are great.
That's funny. I also say we can promote friendship and making things with your friends.
Yeah,
'Cause,
damn.
I mean, that has been like one of the great joys in my life, other than being with my partner and having my kids, is making things with my friends. Like it's just
100%.
a truly joyful thing. That's what you guys
Cheers
do.
to that. And
That's what we
150
do.
episodes, Matt. We didn't officially celebrate last week. So we'll say it this week. You guys are 151, but we forgot to say it last week.
Sesquicentennial. I don't think I said
It's
that
kind
right.
of like I missed my anniversary with Andrea. I was like, I was like, today. She's like, the cat's turning 9 tomorrow. And I'm like, fuck, Andrea, how long have we been together? She's like, well, 10 years was last year, but she had surgery last year, so she wasn't feeling too great. So that's probably why we didn't do anything. But we're celebrating the 11th this year. With
that's a big,
so happy 11th.
Happy 11th. Cheers to that. Absolutely.
And so lots of anniversaries. So, okay, so 10 silly questions.
Yeah, so all right.
Matt wrote these, and they're super weird.
Okay, like I said, I've last 4 days I've been on a binge, listening to your guys' stuff on Instagram, following everything.
Yeah.
And so generally with these questions, we try to mix some fun things to get to know people and whatever, philosophical, some fun ones, whatever. I wanted to write these. They're 12 questions because there's 3 of you, and I wanted to make it even. But I really wrote these in a try to mimic the style of the show.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
I wanted to throw some weird ones out there.
And he puts checks boxes there for me because I can't read.
Yeah.
So I don't read the same question 3 times in a row.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's a good guy all around, eh?
Yeah.
See, working with your friends. Yeah, they help you out.
It's the Adam Sandler effect. Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah,
100%.
It's inspiring.
That's my dream too, man.
So do you want me to kick it off?
You go ahead.
All right. So question number 1. What's your emergency small talk when you run into someone at Sobeys that you know?
Well, I mean,
Is avoid eye contact and walk away?
I would say I will come around. Like it's like, oh, they're in the photo style. I will go over here, get that,
and then as quickly as possible. Is exactly.
Unless it's just kind of yawn
and walk off into the distance.
I usually don't remember someone's name, and I also have a bit of trauma associated with this kind of scenario because the number of times that I've run into somebody, tried to make small talk with them, knowing I know them, but not remembering where, and then tens of minutes later, realizing that I just see them on the bus all the time, and that was the first conversation we've ever had.
You honestly probably have like the most memorable name of all time. You can literally be like, "I'm Bob, man."
Yeah, the person usually knows my name, but I'm just like, "Oh, hey," you kind of mumble their name under your breath, like,
names,
"Hey,"
but I remember Bob Mann's name because it's an easy name. I'm like, gosh, that's an easy name.
I picked it.
It's a comfortable name, Bob. You gotta keep it.
Okay, question number 2 over to you.
Question number 2. If Halifax was a person, would you trust them to watch your dog? Gosh, that's weird.
This is all of Halifax. There's certain places in Halifax.
Interpret this question however you guys like.
Okay.
What type of dog and how long?
Good question.
It's great.
Rottweiler, yeah. And for like, are we talking like a week? Are we going on a vacation? Or are we like, I'm going into the bank and the dog's going to stay outside right quick?
You're asking too many questions. Just answer the question, please. This is like a politician.
I'm saying no.
Yes.
I'd say if it's my dog, yes.
Yeah, your dog, yes.
It's a tiny little dog.
I think Dartmouth can handle Rottweiler, no problem. I think Halifax, a bunch of wimps.
Yeah.
Huh?
Pretty pro Dartmouth.
Don't have a dog, but I have kids, and I would say, yes, I'd be okay, knowing with eyes wide open that they're going to forget a full day. There's going to be a lapse at some point. They're going to go full Spryfield, and they're going to forget a full day.
Don't say that about Spryfield.
Oh, that's terrible. I know.
It's okay. Pass.
You get it. Yeah.
Okay, question number 3.
Yeah.
So if raccoons suddenly gained the ability to vote, what issue do you think that they would campaign hard on?
Municipal politics.
Open roof policy.
Well, I mean, you guys tried to get a dog to run, right? Like,
Wayne
Mason was the dog. But
that's true. That's true.
Probably bike lanes. They've got to be like one way or the other. I'm not sure where they would land on the issue.
Flex in their Speedos.
That's that's like the number one issue in Halifax, isn't it? Bike lanes.
How many bikes are killing raccoons on the road? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I spent a lot of time in Toronto, and raccoons rule the roost out there.
I think they'd fight against the clear garbage bag issue because they'd be like, "Hey, listen, a little privacy and when I'm pulling apart and eating, like, geez, you got to look in my shit." Like,
I think they want more of a keep surprise with that.
They're like all black bags.
I agree. Yeah.
Compost bin
You're only
accessibility.
allowed one. It's too few black bags.
Yeah, that's right.
Our other guest was waiting, but he just walked out on the these questions, I think.
More time.
All right, next question,
So, next question.
Sorry. Is it still networking if you... Is it still networking if you're just talking at a brewery? That's an easy question. Sure.
In Halifax,
it's absolutely. It's going to be the most networking.
I feel like this is a networking accomplishment for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
100%. Nice.
And is it tax deductible? Yes. Yes, 100%.
So far. I might get back to you on that question.
Yeah,
Let's just see if the CRN catches up. Yeah.
I bet you more shows get sold in bars than they do at the meeting
I
tables.
can believe that.
I haven't questioned the beer receipts yet, so I'll let you know.
Yeah.
The amount of receipts I have with writing on the back being like talked about an idea.
It's okay. CRA doesn't listen to us.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. So, at what? This is kind of goes to something we mentioned not too long ago. At what point does local celebrity, quote unquote, become guy everyone recognizes but doesn't remember?
Yeah. Oh boy. Well,
As seen on the bus.
yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Well, I will say that there's a friend of ours, her name is Genevieve Steele, who has been an actor for a long time in Halifax. And when I was a kid, she's probably like, I don't know, how old Genevieve was 5 years older than me or something
probably.
like that. But when I was a kid in Cape Breton in high school, she was on a number of commercials shot here. She was in a butter commercial and a cheese commercial. And I remember seeing her on the sidewalk in my first year of university and thinking, oh, fuck, this is a famous person, and just being afraid of, bumping into her. But yeah, you can just see someone in a few things, and people talk pretty big about celebrity status that doesn't
cheese
exist.
commercial? Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So intimidating.
Oh, man.
So intimidating.
You're up.
Okay. What's your most irrational beef with the Nova Scotia roundabout? I'm assuming you're referring to Armdale?
Any roundabout. We have tons of them.
Do you like
The
roundabouts?
most irrational
I'm
beef.
pro roundabout.
I'm pro
Yeah, me
roundabout.
too.
I'm pro
I'm
roundabout.
Yeah, roundabout too.
They make a lot of sense to me, and I hate it when they don't make sense to other people.
That's my beef.
That's
my
what people. I love the roundabout. I don't like guys in big trucks at the roundabout. There's just I don't want to stereotype all the guys with big trucks, but generally speaking, they're the shittiest roundabout guys.
I've noticed in the last few years an increase in kamikaze roundabouters that just go for it. I'm like, yo, don't chill, like you're gonna die. Like,
I almost prefer that if it's like in the interest of moving traffic. I think my beef with it is a general traffic beef where I don't like people that are trying to be too courteous. Stick with the rules.
Yes.
Don't slow down.
Well, that's one thing. In Halifax, I agree with as a traffic rule everywhere. We need to be a little less courteous. You need to stop waiting
100%.
for you to go.
Yeah,
Stop that.
It's not up
Just
to
let
you.
me
What are
go.
you, the king of the road? You're going to decide your own rules?
It doesn't save anybody time, dipshit.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
And I'll go after you.
I know somebody who did that, drove out into it like thought they were being a good Samaritan, stopped and tried to let somebody in.
Yeah.
They didn't have the right of way, caused an accident. They were at fault.
I think that happens more often than aggressive driving in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I might be showing my age, but I remember when the Armdale Rotary, the rules of the Armdale
one for
was
one.
you go when it's your turn, right? Take turns, and so it's like those 8-way stops near Costco where you're pulling up going, okay, am I 5th? Am I 3rd? Am I 7th? That's what it was all the time. It was a
That's
nightmare.
slow getting to it at 4 o'clock. And they should just put a little instructional video.
Yeah.
Hey, are you about to go in the roundabout? We're going to tell you how it works. Dumbass. There you go. And like a 2-minute video. Instructional on all lanes. Anyway, sorry.
So next one. If you had to fight one seagull the size of a car or 50 normal seagulls, what would you choose and what would your strategy be?
Which one would you pick, I guess, first?
Yeah.
50 or one massive seagull? I'd definitely pick a massive seagull.
Yeah, I was gonna
I think
say.
I'd go with one seagull. I don't know what the strategy would be, though.
One big seagull,
Do I
one
have
seagull the
weapons?
size of a truck.
You're gonna
Do I
go
have weapons
50,
or
you're
no?
gonna get,
I guess you could. You could be go get weapons.
Always
go
go
get
for-
garbage.
Go for the eyes. The hell's he going to do then?
I think seagulls are fucking stupid though. Like we're not talking about 50 seagulls that are coordinating with each other.
Yeah.
and are communicating, right?
Crows are a problem.
Crows.
Crows remember
Giant disco ball.
Oh, I know. I
And a
treat my
light.
crows in
Yeah.
the neighborhood very well. They help me out.
I want to fight them at night. I want a giant disco ball and a light.
Oh, there you go.
And
Yeah.
shine it, and they run at it.
I get it.
I don't have to actually beat them. They just tire themselves out, and I
Even a roll.
Yeah.
How did Taylor come prepared for that question?
It's just like his mortal fear. It's a nightmare he had the other week. Like, oh, jeez.
Little we knew he was writing his next horror film on see this. Like he's all ready to go.
All right, next question.
Okay, when did you last say... So stupid, Matt. When did you last say it'll be the wind that gets you?
It'll be wind that gets you.
I don't know that I've ever said it.
It's the wind that gets you, though.
You know what?
In the winter,
openly
right?
swear
Yeah, like not long ago. It's like a few weeks ago, probably.
but with the wind chill. Yeah,
Honestly,
I hate
shout
that
out
with
to
the wind
Wayne
chill.
Paddock at my gym. Lovely, lovely older gentleman. who's always talks about the weather and the wind. And I think he said something like that, and I probably just repeated it. So probably like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So within the last month, okay, that's maritime lingo.
Exactly. All right, next question. What's the most Halifax way that you've ever been mildly disappointed?
Oh, what would that be? I mean, a big one is, I'd say a toss-up between Theodore Tugboat leaving town. Everyone was so heartbroken, most of whom had not set foot on Theodore Tugboat in their lives, maybe once. And I don't know, when Ralph's place closed down over in Dartmouth, I don't think I'd ever once set foot on the inside, but it felt like we'd lost something that I could immediately get over.
I was okay with it.
Sure, right. Yeah, sure. But it's sort of like,
the Theodore Tugboat one is sad, because I remember when I took my daughter there when she was a certain age.
Yeah, it's
an extremely exciting thing.
We have a picture in our house to take my kid to the theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you can't do that. I didn't even realize that.
Hamilton, they sunk the damn guy.
Yeah.
Like they got him back, but he.
What do you mean they sunk him? Like
a lake?
No, it was in like Ontario, and like he started to spring a leak, but they ran him on some rocks or something like that.
Can you imagine being a diver? You're diving, and out of the murky middle distance, as you're swimming along, this fucking maximum overdrive face emerges from the mud cloud.
Oh my god!
You'd shit your pants. Like
future civilization's gonna find Theodore Tugboat like we found the pyramids and just be like, what the hell? This world was ruled by a tugboat. What?
Yeah.
What is wrong with this nation?
Oh man, what a missed opportunity they had in Hamilton. That would have been what a tourist attraction that would have been.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right, you go in. Next question.
Okay. If your personality was a street in Halifax, which one is it, and why is it slightly under construction? That's deep.
Wow.
That's deep.
Yeah. So many to pick from. Or did I misunderstand the question?
No, there's so many to pick from.
So many.
I think I'm probably Portland Street.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like there's nice stuff there, but there's also grimy areas. It's rough around the edges. Presents well.
A lot of baggage.
It's a lot of baggage, It's like too much going on. Yeah. Portland Street.
Portland is what's the street in Toronto? The long one? It's Queen?
It's young.
Yeah,
It's young.
Young.
The longest.
North America.
Yeah, Portland Street is our young.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Portland is actually the longest street in Nova
It
Scotia.
it goes right all the way into like Cool Harbor.
Yes.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think it
of
is.
that, man. Wow. I grew up in Dartmouth. That's cool. That's a long street.
We're learning stuff. And my dad at one point told me that it was the busiest street in all of Nova Scotia.
Oh, really?
Where that data
Really?
metric
I'm pretty
came
sure it's
from.
Spring Garden.
It was just in terms of number of cars and traffic and stuff. Apparently, I don't know if it is anymore. This is going back.
It's weirdly how busy that is in the middle of the day. That street.
Absolutely.
Like you're like, what are these people doing?
Right around the superstore, just like driving by to make sure it's still there.
Yeah.
Stuck in that one little pocket.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Like, why are we gridlocked here? This makes no sense to me. Yeah. It's
terrible.
It's Tuesday at 2, right? But anyways, okay.
All right, next question. So second last question.
Disappointed with Halifax is traffic.
Yeah, that's right. Why is it like this?
Two questions left.
So if you had to rebrand Halifax, what would you call it, and why would people hate it?
Halifax, love the way we bitch, which was from the coast, I think. The coast had. I always thought that was a real. That was such a that was a gift of a slogan. That was a gloss on love the way we live. I always thought that was a winner.
I think that's really, really apt.
Yeah,
that's wildly apt. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
because we're lucky living here in ways that are immeasurable compared to so many other parts of the. It really is
we
stunning.
talked a few misfortunes, but if you think about it, Halifax is a sandbox.
Oh,
and the fact that you guys are friends and were able to create what you've created here.
Oh, and not have to leave and stick around. Yeah,
I feel the same way about Matt and I with his show, and so many endless avenues here. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
All right. Make it good.
Okay. If aliens landed and demanded one human tradition explained immediately, which one would make us look the worst?
A human tradition, like one human tradition.
Yeah. Just any one human tradition that would just make us look
the worst
to aliens.
Afternoon drinking.
Sure.
I mean, we're pretty good at it here. I gotta say.
Yeah.
It would. I don't. Is it Christmas? Because we've taken this thing that it's supposed to represent something beautiful and family coming together, and we've just capitalized the fuck out of it, and that's kind of like a great metaphor for like North America.
I don't hate that answer.
Even the stuff in the turkey party. If you think it was the act of stuffing a bird, it's pretty gross. Right?
Yeah, probably the
Deliciously gross.
The tradition of stress
And
associated
patriarchy, we're just idolizing an old white guy with a beard and a big belly. I mean, great, he's sweet and he's cuddly and I love him too. But holy shit, it's all about capitalism. I think it would be that.
And it's transactional.
Yes, it's all it's transactional.
And we're doing it in the name of Jesus.
That's
Which
is also transactional.
It's also a big leap at Easter, right?
But I'm gonna, if anyone's listening still now, I'm gonna trigger them a little bit. Jesus was a communist, so he'd actually be against it.
That's right.
Yeah,
and this is kind of what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Right? So very much against the way things
you're dropping bombs again.
Jesus is like a huge communist socialist.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the most
Literally, like, told his disciples to sell their possessions and follow him and go feed the poor. Like, I like the thing where it's like, what my favorite part of the Bible was? When Jesus said, like, I'm just going to keep all this bread and fish for myself.
Jesus would be appalled at Christmas as it stands in North America.
So I like that answer.
Good job.
Do you want to take last call?
Last call, gentlemen. We ask every guest, what's one piece of advice you received in your lifetime? This could be from family, a friend, a relative, a famous actor that you just want to share with us today. Just a cool piece of advice. I mean, from any perspective. You guys gave a lot of great advice in this show, by the way. I mean, about creativity, I think.
It's our main thing we do.
So thank you for that. But if you got one more chunk for us, that'd be awesome.
Never block doorways.
That's a good one.
Never block
practical
doorways.
That could be like taken literally and like kind of philosophically.
I read it literally, but I will take the metaphor of the philosophical. Like, it really, it's deeper than you guys think. Just trust me.
Please.
It's absolutely a physical quote. He's not talking about anything else. Just stay out of his way.
There's a great song by Kay Tempest, who's a UK spoken word poet / playwright / musician. And they have this great song called Grace. And in it, it says a line that I think about and try to remember every day. And I'm going to butcher it. But it essentially goes something like, and love said, if you speak what is within you, it will save you. And if you don't, it will destroy you. Oh. And I love that because it sort of talks about...
Yeah,
I think we can take that, especially as someone who makes stuff or writes or creates. It's like... whatever is in here and whatever is honest and real and feels truthful or excites you or thrills you, that thing that we talked about, and you express it, it can save you. And I think for me, getting to do this has probably saved, not to be dramatic about it, but it's probably saved my life. And I think when I keep these things inside and shame or wwhatever it is, usually shame, it eats away at me and destroys me. So I think that would be the thing. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's great.
Yeah. Top that, Bob.
Oh, I could easily top that. It's funny, I was talking to a group of, I also work at Dal, kind of on the side, and I was speaking to a group of law students, and it's clearly a bunch of people struggling with trying to figure out what's my career going to be, what am I going to do, what's the path I'm going to chart, and we had a big conversation about cathedral building. And my suggestion to them was, if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't know what you're doing or what this is for, or what your purpose is, think of yourself as being in the business of building a cathedral. You're working on something that started before you came along, and you're contributing to it, and it will continue happening after you're gone. You don't have to assess your value or your worth or your purpose in the context of such a narrow bandwidth of your own lived life. That is kind of limiting, and it really opens the door for a lot of disappointment, a lot of introspection that is not going to be helpful to you. Social media fucking analysis stuff. How am I doing right now in this moment compared to other people? Fuck that. Forget about all that stuff. Are you contributing to something that makes a mark, makes a contribution, whether it's with other people that you love or adds a piece that wasn't there before? Make it about that. You won't be disappointed. You'll be happy going forward.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cheers to that.
Brilliance all around,
That was
gentlemen.
way better than your thing.
I think it was 3 for 3. I think you guys all gave amazing
years on me. Okay.
answers. Cheers, guys. Cheers so much. Cheers, man. All right. Thank you so much. And please come back anytime.
Anytime.
This was remarkable.
Next time.